Hey, I'm Rick.
And I'm Andy.
And this is
Been There, Tap That.
Hey everybody, welcome to Been There, Tap That. And on today's episode, we're here with Andrew Tessier from Axe & Barrel.
Sweet, thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us.
So Andrew, you want to tell us a little bit about Axe & Barrel and how it got started?
Yeah, Axe & Barrel opened 4 years ago, originally as a brew pub. Loghouse Pub was turned into Axe & Barrel Brew Pub. The brewery was opened in the old liquor store space. Liquor Planet was opened across the parking lot. Axe & Barrel Brewery initially opened as a brew pub. Now in the past year we've converted into a packaging brewery. We've added bombers and six packs, and we have a lounge endorsement now, so we can sell full servings from our lounge with growler fills. So we've introduced the packaging in the last year, six packs, bombers. The pub has been a separate business now. It's back to the log house, and here we are, Axe & Barrel.
Tell us a little bit about how the name came into fruition, how that came into the concept, Axe & Barrel.
Axe & Barrel, well, axes were used to make the log house pub. It's an historical site. So we got all these logs, axes, beer, barrels, Axe & Barrel.
Back in the home brewing days, we know that you kind of got a kickoff back there, kind of started everything off, learning the ways.
Yes, I started out as a home brewer. I got really excited about brewing. I was 17, and I just kind of got interested in the whole fermentation. Started home brewing, building my own homebrew equipment. Back then, you weren't able to kind of just order homebrew equipment online. You had to fabricate equipment. It was fun. You got that mind frame where you're looking at stuff. It's like, oh, I can turn that into a mash tun, or what am I going to do with this thing? So it's picnic coolers, old kegs, piping. It was a lot of fun to build your own brewing equipment. When I turned 19, I hooked up with a local group of home brewers. We formed a club called the Raging Grainies. And our thing, in order to be in our club, you had to brew beer from scratch, hence the Grainies thing. A lot of homebrewers would do the extract brewing, but we have to go from scratch, milling your own grain, doing a full mash. So we had a cool collection of local homebrew gurus and new people like me that got into brewing, so I learned a lot from hanging out with this crew. It was just seeing all the other people's techniques and what they're into. Some people were focusing on Belgians, some people were focusing on German lagers. I was really big into Belgian beers. I was doing a lot of wit beer, stout. I kind of was trying to do as many different things, but I had recipes that I was working on coming back to. I was really big into wit beer and traditional stouts. But I was, doing a little bit of everything. Coming back to the original wit beers, though, I think when I turned 19, that was the first homebrew contest that I won, was for my wit beer, winning a gold at a local homebrew competition. And that beer eventually became Tessier's wit beer that I brewed at a few different breweries, where I've got a gold at the Canadian Brewing Awards for the Tessier's wit beer.
Where did you brew at?
I first jumped into a local brewery that was a U brew. It was called Dr. Strange Brew. So I just turned 19, and that was the first brewing job that I got. So it was a U brew. U brews were really big back then. They're popping up everywhere. Dr. Strange Brew was a cool spot. They did full mashes with grain, so it was kind of aligned with the Raging Grainies Club, where we're doing to scratch, as opposed to doing the extract. So I learned a little bit about mashing there on a bigger scale. From there, I worked out into Vancouver at R&B Brewing. I started off at Backwoods, which is now Dead Frog.
Oh wow, that's way back in the day.
Yeah, then I went to R&B Brewing with Rick and Barry. I was their first full-time employee. They were doing everything before I got there, and I took over the brewing. R&B Brewing was really a cool spot for me to spend some time. Did a stint there, about a year and a half. They helped me go down to Chicago, the Siebel Institute, for some brewing courses. Then I moved out to Halifax to Propeller as a head brewer there. I spent a couple of years there. And then I moved back to Victoria to work at Swans. I was at Swans for 12 years, and I've been here for 2.5 years now.
And it's really nice to see just that evolution of you as a brewer, and I mean all your travels, and you've taken a lot in over the whole course and going place to place, and the whole beer engine thing, and that's pretty cool. And you've done that before at a cask at Royal Athletic Park for a Great Canadian Beer Fest.
Yeah, we did a cask beer, the Mango and the Dirty Dozen.
That's right.
Yeah, you guys came by. It was mango peach sour. We called it Dirty Mangoes. That was a mango peach sour that we fermented here at the brewery. Just a small batch. We only brewed a barrel. And that was fermented with 12 strains of Brettanomyces.
Bringing that back, aren't you? I heard through the grapevine.
Yeah, we got a couple little funky things going on here.
Couple of things going on
There's some
back there.
funky, yeah. We'll bring that one back for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about your core beers, the flagship beers that kind of got Axe and Barrel going?
Yes, we have our core lineup here.
God, it's beautiful.
We're going to start with our Langford Lager, named after Langford that we are graced to be in here. Langford Lager is a American-style Pilsner. It's light, crisp, has a little bit more to it than your standard American Pilsner. We got a very definite hop presence there. It's light, crisp, but very floral with the hops that we have in there, Czechoslovakian Saz hops.
Tell us where you get your ingredients from. Do you guys source them locally?
We use Canadian premium malted barley for all our beers. We use European hops in the Langford Lager. We have American hops and some hops sourced from the UK for our pale ale. So we just recently won a first place at the BC Beer Awards for our Langford Lager.
Oh, awesome.
Was that, like an old 84 Chevy there?
Yes, it is. It's got some bullhorns on there. License plate says Pilsner, some trees. You're all set, going for a rip.
Going to Goldstream,
Going to
camping.
Goldstream, camping.
Who does up your artwork for you?
I've worked with Isaac Martinez. He's a local label designer. I've come up with the ideas and would run them through him, and he does his graphics.
Conceptually, it's amazing that you're just following through with all the
Yeah, we
vehicles.
followed through.
Yeah.
The Langford was the first beer that we packaged, so we focused on what we're going to do with this label. I wanted a truck on there, something to be a symbol of Langford. So we're like, what could we put on there that you see a lot in Langford? And we got this old truck on there. Then we passed that onto the rest of our branding here with the vehicle, West Shore IPA. We've got a little van on there, camping, woohoo! The Fruity Mother Pucker. We've got a little, boop, boop, some legs. Yeah.
Little legs showing, is that your legs?
Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah, we've got a couple beers that are coming up soon this summer. We have our Raceway RPA, which is a rye pale ale that we're going to release into bombers, and then we also have our Hopline Bling.
Big question everyone wants to know. Me mainly, but everyone. When's coconut porter coming back?
Oh, the coconut porter.
Yeah, love
Yeah, we've flown that out. It doesn't have a spot picked out. We've kind of been popping it in and out. We're going to do another batch. We're going to have it on in the summer. We'll probably stick it in for a good chunk of time, probably 6 months before we change it up. We'll see. Yeah, we've got a lot of people asking for that. It probably will become one of our staples.
How did that beer come about?
I spent some time in Hawaii, and I was drinking some Maui Porter there.
Maui
coconut
Porter.
Yeah. Brought some back. Had a good time in Hawaii drinking this porter. It was great. I was into cigars back then, so a lot of beach fires, smoking cigars. A great companion to that was this coconut porter. Came back to Victoria.
Yeah.
Brought some back, finished it up, and then deconstructed it. Next beer that we have is our West Shore IPA. We just recently won a bronze medal at the BC Beer Awards for our West Shore IPA. This is a West Coast style IPA. Our version is pretty dry, crisp, but it has all the bitterness that you would expect in a really heavy, hoppy West Coast IPA. So we keep this really light, really dry. It's brewed with Pilsner malt, Pacific Northwest hops. So we've got some Centennial, some Mosaic, and some Citra in here. We get some tropical fruits. We also get a little bit of dank, some dank in there. Put this in the dank bank.
Are you going to whirl it?
Yeah, totally.
I'll whirl it? Okay.
So you get kind of like a hop rocket. You give it a whirl. You have all those bubbles popping. You get some of those oils released, and you get a little bit of a blast of hops coming up.
What do you got there for number 3 there, hey? What's number 3 about?
This is our Fruity Mother Pucker.
Fruity motherfucker.
This is a sour beer. It's
Shut your
4%
mouth.
alcohol. It's made with raspberries, a little bit of strawberry, a little bit of blueberry. This is a really big beer for us. This is kind of based off a German-style Berliner Weiss sour with fruit added. This is also fermented with a wild yeast that we use in the bling also.
Pretty sexy.
Now, I remember this one being pretty popular at the beer fest there.
Yeah, totally. We had a hard time keeping it on tap. We kept on popping new kegs. So this is our Fruity Mother Pucker. This is a series. The first sour beer that I did here was the Hoppy Mother Pucker. We didn't do that. We weren't packaging then. We just had that on draft only. We have the Fruity Mother Pucker. We're going to release the Hoppy Mother Pucker this summer.
Oh, nice. Kind of like the big brother to it.
Yes.
Big sister.
So in plate, we'll do the same recipe, the same wild yeast. Instead of fruit, we'll do just a massive amount of dry hopping. Into the fermentation, dry hopping. Yeah, it's a refreshing, great patio beer. We have lots of people requesting this. We have our patio open, we have a 40-seat patio. This is a big summer love beer.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about patio weather and what's projections for this summer and what you got going on this summer.
Beer-wise, yeah, we're talking about the Hoppy Mother Pucker. We're going to have the wit beer returning, and we're going to also have that coconut porter coming up at some point here.
Very cool.
So yeah, we've opened the patio. We've got the lounge. We've got 35-seat capacity in the lounge. We got 40-seat capacity on our patio, which just opened up a couple weeks ago.
Distribution-wise, how far are you guys going right now, or what are you bottling and boxing and sending out?
The lager, the IPA are also available in 6-packs. The Pucker is just in the bomber right now. We also have 2 seasonals out. We have our Ride the Bock, which is traditional style Bock, and we also have a little bit of our double shot porter, which is a collaboration with Cafe Fantastico, espresso porter. There's a little bit of that kicking around. Distribution-wise, we're just selling beer on the South Island right now. Our main liquor store that we're selling through is Liquor Planet, which is across from the parking lot from us. We also have Cascadia, Liquor Express, 4 Mile, and Liquor Plus, and a few other little liquor stores around Victoria.
What do you guys produce on an average?
Annual average?
Annual average?
Hectoliter?
Oh, hectoliters. Yeah, we're doing about
hectoliter.
1,000 hectoliters a year.
Nice, nice.
So, Andrew, I'm kind of on a little bit of a winning spree there. Hot shots. What do you got for awards and accolades?
Yeah, so we've recently picked up 2 fabulous awards from the BC Beer Awards. We've got a first place for our Langford Lager.
I can tell.
And we've got a 3rd place for our West Shore IPA.
Nice.
Oh, there's also our Kolsch, which is one of the seasonals that we have available. We have a silver from the Canadian Brewing Awards.
Awesome. I was going to ask you what you know personally about the Beer Fest coming up. What's happening with that? Who's running it? Has anything changed?
Is Vic Beer Week running that now?
Yeah, that's a huge event for Victoria, a great Canadian Beer Festival, which happens every year in September. There's been a little changing of the guard. Vic Beer Week crew is taking it over. Jerry Heater and his posse have done a great job running the beer festival. Time to retire, and they've passed it along to some new up-and-coming dudes.
Hey, I'm Rick.
And I'm Andy.
And I'm Andrew.
And we're here at Axe and Barrel, and we've
Been there, tap that.